It's the Man-Child Minute. Man-Child Minute. Hack a 3DS with the Man-Child Minute. That's my theme.
Is that your custom 3DS theme?
It's doing very poorly on the theme plaza.
You open up your little 3DS and it goes, "Hey Alex," and then if you pick an app, it goes, "Yes, Tad," and it goes to the app.
The app is, let me tell you about Man-Child Minute. Sometimes it's a quickie. This is about hacking your 3DS and modding and a bunch of fun stuff. This is definitely not spillover from the last Noyz Boyz.
We totally
Definitely
didn't have
not.
way more to talk about than we actually thought, and we're gonna make a 3-hour episode or anything.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, may I open?
Yes.
All right. So. Now, some of you have still kept in contact with me in other Discords and shit. Like the refugee center we all hang out in. And
Despite me telling you not to.
So, many of you already know that I am hooked on my 3DS. I love hacking my 3DS. I didn't expect to. I didn't get a chance to talk about this with the Noyz Boyz, but like when I hacked that thing, what made me fall in love was not getting all these free games, because, Fire Emblem's nice and all, the OK Watch is bad and all, but who cares that much? What hooked me, my little dopamine-ridden brain, is custom 3DS themes. And once I got into that, everything else kind of just started to unravel for me. And I went on this whole fucking, rabbit hole, dude. I love this thing. For how much I love it, I got a new SD card, but then I ended up getting a completely new 3DS, as in, not a new as in brand new, as in new as it's called the new 3DS, the 3DS 2. Not to be confused with the 2DS.
So you went up to GameStop and said, "Hey, can I get a new 3DS?" Oh, like a 3DS? No. I guess more like a new 3DS.
Also,
XL,
it needs
please.
to be XL, please. Yeah, I found one. It was like $270, except for the pink one, which was $170. I wonder why.
So did you get the pink one, Alex?
No, I got the black one because I'm not a fucking bitch. So anyway.
Damn.
Anyway, I got a big, new, thickulent, new 3DS. And so I went to transfer all of my data over. And because you can still transfer your little your gameplay logs and your Mii's and shit from the system's internal memory to the new 3DS, even if it's already homebrewed and shit. So I had to. So this is my little story. And it was really interesting. I want to try to make sure people don't do stupid shit like I did. So get the new 3DS, turn it on, set it up, immediately crack that sucker open and homebrew it, right? Then do the transfer file. But I had to do this when you had to put the SD card into the computer to delete all the files. So unfortunately, I had to lose the games and saves that I installed if I didn't have Checkpoint, another homebrew app, which luckily I had because it came with the guide, that could back up my saves into little fucking files, then put those files in just on the computer in a little backup folder, delete everything, put it back in the 3DS, turn the 3DS back on. It's good, your 3DS is totally legit. Wink. Here's all your data. Then immediately turn it off, pop the sucker open, take the little micro SD out, put it back into my computer, little SD card reader, back in the computer, put all of the homebrew shit back in there. And then, just to make sure, I redid the God Mode Luma stuff just to make sure it was working. So I basically had to hack it twice over, and then everything was there and transferred like normal.
Now, were you like me, and every time that you did this, I've hacked 3 3DSs now.
Ooh.
I've hacked an old 3DS, a 2DS, and a new 3DS. I've hacked all of them, and I've lost the SD card probably 7 times across all of those. Which, by the way, if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about, hacking your 3DS is very easy. There's more than enough guides. I'll link the guide that I used, and I think the one that Alex used. It's like a 7-minute video, or there's a website. It's very straightforward. Just take each step one by one, and don't jump around, or you're gonna fucking brick it.
So
3DSs are very expensive now.
So most of the guides will actually recommend to not watch a YouTube video because they'll be outdated. There's a big text document on you just the first result in Google will usually take you to the big guide. Now, I didn't listen. I still watched a YouTube video anyway because fuck you. It's way easier to see. When you say make sure you upload the hacking process involves you fucking adding a robot friend to then fuck with the data on the network. Bro, I'm gonna watch a guy do that, okay? Look, that's complicated. So I watched the most recent one, and this guy actually, he made it even more simpler, where he actually has a little website to help you as well, where you just put, he has the same guy there too, but he actually has the whole app files and everything in just one big folder, including an app not included in the original one called HShop. And I mentioned HShop in the Noyz Boyz we just did. And HShop has so much custom shit to just download, like every game, DLC, update. You can get ROM hacks off that thing. You can get Morbius on there. I talked about that before, but like you can do so much shit. And so like having HShop also just put me on another fucking rabbit hole where I'm like, whoa, I can put Dilbert on this thing now? Hold the fuck up. And I started
That's
doing...
how I felt too. I didn't have HShop in my first install. I was taking CIA files and putting them on the SD card and slowly adding games. And I'm like, surely there must be more to life.
HShop will just download them using the internet. Like it works like the eShop, but it's just the HShop. It's not as cool looking menu-wise, but it has one cool feature. You can... Alright, here's the easy process, Cracks Knuckles. Listen. You can add a custom music playlist while you're shopping on the HShop. So what I did is I immediately put in the fucking Rapid Influx Wii Shop fucking Trap remix, just a loop while I'm fucking HShop shopping. I also added some other songs like the fucking menu music from Pizza Tower, which goes hard and works surprisingly well for like a browsing theme. However, the way you add these songs, you can't just add an MP3 file to the HShop. Sorry, it can't be that easy. You have to add an HMV file. And
HMV? That stands for something else.
Sorry. It's like HMWAV. It's basically like a homebrew music wave file. It's like what it actually stands for, right? So
don't Google HMVs.
Oh no!
Don't Google HMVs at 3 a.m. using DuckDuckGo.
So you have to go to their H-Wave converter on their little on the HShop website. So I had to take my song, convert it to a WAV file, then convert it to an H-Wave file, and then upload it to my 3DS. A lot of them got fucked quality-wise because of all the converting going on. The only songs that don't sound... I put like 5 music on there. The only songs that don't sound like shit are, ironically, the first 2 is the Wii Shop remix and Pizza Tower. Everything else sounds awful coming through the speakers. It was a terrible idea.
It's like playing out of the PlayStation controller speaker.
Yeah, it's bad.
Pizza Tower coming out of the Brawl fucking Wiimote speaker.
It sounds exactly like that. I'm not even joking. Like I tried putting like the fucking I know it's like cool chill music. I'll put in the map the star map music from like Mass Effect in there because I have that. And these aren't like YouTube MP3 files. These are the official like soundtrack files. So they're supposed to be the highest quality I can get, you know? So I know I'll put that in there. It sounds like ass. It comes through. It sounds like it's speaking through broken speakers. And the speakers are good because everything else sounds good except for that and like the fucking Chrono Cross map music. I just wanted chill music, bro. Why did it turn out so poorly for me? But another thing, when I was stumbling through Universal Updater, which is the homebrew app to get other homebrew apps, essentially. Now, there's a lot of random shit that I just didn't download on there. Like, I'm not going to play the Doom 3DS port. I don't really care. Or your little shitty Glup Shido game. Look, I don't care.
I tried that, actually. I downloaded the Doom one. It runs like ass.
I found MGBA on there, which is just the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy/Game Boy Advance emulator. Works pretty good, actually, all things considered. It gives me the handheld experience, but still with an emulator. So it works. Very good job.
It's like playing handheld games on a handheld console.
I know, it's crazy. It's mind-boggling. But what I found was a thing called the Rverse. Rverse, you need to go into Luma mode by hitting your easy hacking button of hitting like LR select A and then like up to activate the God menu or whatever the fuck it's called. So then activate homebrew patching. So then you install Rverse, which will then hack, patch, and update the Miiverse to work again.
Holy shit.
And so
it's back.
So I can go to Miiverse completely unmoderated, except for just me and like 10 other homebrew hackers who want to talk on Miiverse still, you know? And
that makes me uncomfortable. Miiverse was already bad enough.
The first post I see is in the Badge Arcade little like sub-community, the subreddit on Miiverse, that was, and I quote, "Oh my fucking god, the little fucking bunny is so fucking hot. Every time I open up the 3DS fucking Badge Arcade, I pop a huge fucking boner." 6 years. It's awful. Like, there's no reason to use the Miiverse outside of the gimmick of, hey, look, the Miiverse still works. Because what are you gonna talk about? Like, these dead old consoles. It's just for shit posting and drawing little doodles. But hey, it works.
Now, does it have all the archived Miiverse stuff, or is it all blank except for weirdos?
I
Basically, like the Linux users of 3DS games.
I don't think it has everything archived, but to be honest, I didn't look that hard. I just looked at a bunch of shitty, funny shit posts about Coomers, gave them all yeahs, and haven't really used it since. Again, it's mostly for the gimmick of using the Miiverse than anything else. I'm not gonna go look for Mike's post about N-words on the fucking goddamn Mario Kart thing.
The little Tom at Wii Sports Resort.
I appreciate you remembered it more than I did. But
nice water.
But what I want to talk about, and the reason I want to really get into this, is that there are two big things I want to discuss when it comes to these like these homebrew things. So don't just download any random things, because people can put anything on the HShop, and like you don't need HDoom or whatever the fuck it's called. HDoom is a porn clone. I didn't actually think about that. H is in homebrew. Whoops. Anyway, moving on.
Like I know what you're talking about though, because when I was hacking the 3DSs, I hacked one for me, one for my friend John, and one for my nephew. And when I was hacking it for my nephew, I mentioned in the other episode, go into the theme plaza, just boom, pussy out, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing on, like, there's no way that I'm not, like, if you're hacking a child's 3DS, you have to basically, what I did was I went through the whole store and I was asking him, like, okay, I opened up the HShop, like, what do you want? And immediately he's like, Zelda. I was like, okay, you already have Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I'm like, well, what more Zelda do you want? So I picked the Zelda games, and then he's like, Roblox. And I'm like, I don't think they have Roblox. He's like, oh, Fortnite. I'm like, I'm willing to bet they probably don't have Fortnite, but he's like, Paper Mario. And I'm like, there's no Paper Marios on here.
There is no Paper Mario.
I'm like, tell you what, I'm just going to install 79 games on your 3DS. So I did that because then I could turn off his internet, right? So he can't go on the HShop, so he can't go on the fucking Rverse and have weird Linux users trying to get him to install Ubuntu.
Yeah. Now, there are some funny things on there, like I mentioned the MGBA. Also, someone ported Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4 on the 3DS. I didn't download them because I feel like they'd run poorly, but hey, someone did it. But one of the things I want to talk about is, like, be careful what you're installing, but also be careful how you use them. Because if you're technically illiterate like myself, Ted knows how much of a struggle it was to get me to activate a parametric equalizer on the podcast was.
Parametric equalizer? Do I look like I know what a parametric equalizer? That's one for us audio buddies. That's a joke for us. I was going high and low.
I tried to install the custom badge app. Because, I mean,
I didn't even know that was a thing. What the fuck? I played the shit out of the badge arcade and got really mad when I didn't win badges. I didn't know this was a thing.
So as anyone who's talked to me in the refugee servers and seen my 3DS screenshots, I have a lot of 3DS themes, 190 and counting right now, and over 1,000 badges, which is a low amount. Some people have like 4K. So
what the fuck?
You can only have 1,000 badges at a time in your like little storage box, and the bunny can help you organize that. But
wait, does like bringing the bunny back?
You can still, like, even the app, I don't think you can buy anything on there anymore. Like, I checked the app right before recording. He still lets me like open the app. So it doesn't it hasn't rotated the shop like for the past 3 days as of recording. So like,
well, I mean, you won't be able to go and visit him here in a minute.
But like, I mean, well, the shop's already down as of this recording.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Which is like, it went down today. But
I need to update Smash Bros.
Yeah, so like, well, go to the HShop and download the update there, sweetie. It works, by the way. You can have an official game and get an unofficial download still. It's just an update. Just puts the files in the SD card. It works. But anyway, that's also another reason the HShop is so useful. You have a game, like Tad, didn't have an update installed. HShop's got you covered. As things separated by games, regions, languages, and like updates, DLC, themes, ROM hacks, etc. It's got everything separated for you. Also, make sure you're looking when you download because it'll just say like title, Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers. One is the game, one is the update, one is the DLC. They won't change the name, so make sure you look at the little tag, all right? But anyway, to the badges. So I fucking love badges. I've spent a lot of money on the badge arcade that I won't admit. I've gotten so many badges all of the time, bro.
I wonder if there was a certain character that was in like the eShop that had multiple runs of badges that you spent real money on. You fucking loser.
So that's cap. I do not have 20 Ashley badges. I only have about 10, okay? Thank you. Second, do you have any idea how many Ashley badges there are? Side note, do you have any idea? I didn't know. I thought that, oh, there's probably a lot. She's pretty popular. I got a custom file of every single badge ever made in a zip file so I could customly add them through the custom badge app. Do you have
90%.
any idea? She is legitimately like a third out of thousands of badges. She has so many badges because it'll be like, hey, here. They showed WarioWare so hard. By WarioWare, I mean Ashley. It's like, hey, here's just like, regular key art of Ashley. Here's key art of Ashley for Halloween, and it'll be in the Halloween set. Here's key art of Ashley, but like, you know how there's those little badges that'll take you to apps? Like, it'll be like the character with like the little, like holding the little 3DS like shop bag, It'll be like,
I didn't even know those were a thing.
Oh, well, yeah, they're custom things. Like, I have a bunch of Monster Hunter ones where it's like the cats from Monster Hunter Generations just like hanging around like the different little apps. It'll say the me, but in like the Monster Hunter text,
That's cool, actually. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, and if you tap on that badge, it'll take you to the me app. It's really cool, actually. Now, Ashley has a whole set of those too. Oh, you want to make a little like RPG dungeon with these little RPG tile blocks themed around Ashley? Here you go. You have no idea how many there are for fucking Ashley. I had no idea. But anyway, I get this giant file. I'm like, okay, I'll upload all the badges. I didn't read the fine print. The little app thing can only upload 1,000 at a time because that's the hard limit of the box, that they just program, that Nintendo programmed themselves. Because we're just hacking through what Nintendo gave us, So, I put that on there, and it does this process that I wish I had some way to record it. I'm never doing it again, and you're going to see why. But it quickly dumps all of the files from the extra data folder. And I had to learn how this folder works for the thing coming up. It dumps them all, and the way it plays it out, I thought I was having a fucking stroke. It goes to its own little app menu where every single badge you are uploading quickly appears and then over each other, like as a big mess, and they just keep going and going and going and going. Do you have any idea how many badges I put in that fucking folder, Dad? I didn't know what I was doing. I genuinely thought my 3DS was gonna like brick or something. It was horrifying because they're just the JPEGs, so it's just all just appearing. I'm like, oh god, what's going on? Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh fuck! And so what ended up happening, it's like, and it gave me an error because I was putting too many in there, And so like, oh, I know. Okay, I'll delete the folder and try again. But what I didn't know is that it dumped my entire extra data of my official badges in there because it's hacking into the official badges like extra data box, So I accidentally deleted all of my badges, but not the data folder. So what ended up happening is when I went to the badge arcade, if I ever opened up my badge box, the 3DS would just crash because it's trying to access badges that have been deleted essentially, but are still technically in there at the same time. Here's how this worked. I was like, oh, fuck, what happened? And so if you ever transfer data or you have a saved data corruption to the badge arcade, the bunny will be like, whoa, bro, looks like we scanned an error. Don't worry, we'll fix it for you. And they re-upload your badges. But it wasn't working. He would say like, okay,
we'll fix it for you.
So that
whatever sound. I don't know what the sound the 3DS makes when it explodes.
So he'd be like, all right, buddy, we fixed it. Go, good luck. Head on in and have some fun. And I would open up the badge collection and it would still just crash. I was like, oh fuck, did I just lose my hundreds of fucking dollars on my sweet Ashley badges? So I looked around. I was like scanning, like what do? I tried to look for anyone who could help me out with this because I, technically illiterate. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, So. What I ended up doing is I went to a forum post. A guy had the same problem, but no fix. And so he just kind of gave up. But I'm stubborn as fuck, as Tad knows. And I'm not giving up for my vain JPEGs on my 3DS. And so I remembered something interesting that happened. I actually had a completely different error with a completely different app that had maybe had a similar solution. You see, let's go back to custom themes for a second. You see, custom themes are put in the themes extra data folder, which is like file. No, I'm not. I'm just saying off the top of my head some numbers. It's like file like CB1402, right?
Yeah, it's like really long.
Yeah. But that's your personal data folder. The extra data folder will be like 5 or 6 characters. But that folder is also the hack's the same way. It takes like to have your themes shuffle on an enemy, you have to go to the actual theme app, put shuffle favorites, then back out because you hit the 10 selected there, and you hit that button, and then an enemy will hack into that and put the 10 themes in those like empty slots essentially.
Oh, okay, so that's how it does it.
Yeah, that's why you can only have 10 because that's we're not creating it, we're just hacking what Nintendo already gave us, So that was the limit there on the favorite shuffle. That's the limit we have on the enemy favorite shuffle. So I had an interesting problem where, for some reason, my themes were not shuffling. I also couldn't select my themes either. I couldn't just select official ones, and an enemy wasn't rotating like usual. So, like, what the hell? Like, I can still use a custom theme, but I can only use one at a time. Like, what's going on? And so the guy said, well, what you gotta do is you gotta go into the 3DS file itself, go to that extra data file, and, here's the string that it is, like CB whatever, delete it, and then turn the 3DS back on. Because if you do that, the game will, much like the Badge Arcade, will be like, hey, we detected a problem. Don't worry, we'll fix it. I don't know how that's going to work now because the 3DS shop is down, but I was doing this while it was still up. Now, I honestly don't know what's going to happen to you. But anyway, so I had a problem. I was thinking, wait a second. If it could repair itself by deleting the entire folder, rather than just deleting the save data, couldn't I do that with my badges data too? But which one of these strings of numbers and letters is the 3DS badges folder? Because they don't say badges _ file. It's just, CBNB1042. Like, what the fuck? I thought
you're on top of the rooftop and you're holding the gun at the 2 folders. Which one do I shoot?
So, yes, I was looking through every single folder. I'm trying to, because there wasn't, like, nobody had the same problem. No one's stupid like me. No one had the forms. I was too embarrassed to fucking ask. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I was scanning through every folder, like properties. What's the biggest size? I should think like, well, there's like 1,000, something badges in there. Maybe it's like, 50, 60 megabytes. So I'm looking through the sizes. I see one that's really big. I'm like, okay, maybe it's that one, but then
hold on, Alex. I hope that's a dog toy in the background.
Yeah,
because otherwise it's someone screaming in pain.
Yeah, it's my dog, Jakearoo. We call him Jakearoo now. He's got his little squeaky toy and he's very happy. Get used to it. It's my new dog. So anyway. So as Jake is killing that small defenseless animal behind my door,
fucking it up like you're about to fuck up your 3DS.
Yes. So I'm like, okay, time to delete this file. And before I hit delete, I'm like, hold on a minute. I might be doing the most retarded shit ever. I better Google this one last time. So just in case, I back up the file I was about to delete. Just to Alex proof my next idea.
You were gonna delete it without backing it up.
I was about to fucking do some stupid shit to it.
You kind of deserve to have your 3DS turn into a pipe bomb.
No, because here's how I fixed it.
Damn, I can't argue with that.
I went to the 3DS Homebrew wiki, and I just thought, okay, they have to have a catalog of just all these file names and what they actually mean. And thank fucking God they do. Google didn't find it. The forums didn't find it. I just someone else in a Homebrew Discord linked me to this. Thank you, random fucking guy. But here, I scroll down to the bottom, and it was not the file I was going to delete. That was the Homebrew file. I would have just bricked my fucking system. So, the badges was like, 248B or whatever the fuck. That one, which was like only 20 megabytes big, by the way, so I had the wrong idea anyway. But I deleted that. Then restarted the 3DS, went to the Badge Arcade. He's like, hey, problem with your data, we'll fix it. And they actually fixed it. I had all of my themes back, all my my badges back. And I never went to the custom badge thing again. Half of that was my own fault, I understand. But I never did that again. Yes, there are a lot of funny custom badges that I can make my own, and I'm never doing that again. I have my poor little, my Glup Shittos, my Kirby badges, my Ashleys, my Fire Emblems. I'm never giving them up again.
So the biggest problems that I had with modding was when I tried to hack the Wii. This was way the fuck back. This was 11 years ago now. This is 2012. I was like, oh man, I want to make Smash Bros. Brawl hacks, which I didn't know anything about. I didn't know how to do this. So I was Googling around and I was finding YouTube videos from like 2010. And I decided to, rather than go to the Wii, like, soft brewing homebrew wiki, because it was scary and it was all text, I did what you did and I watched a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So this video I watched was so outdated, I went out and I rented a copy of Lego Indiana Jones.
Oh, is that how they got through the homebrew system?
Yeah, the way that they did it, the method I followed was so fucking sketch. I went and rented Lego Indiana Jones, put the information on a fat SD card, put it in my Wii, tried to load the save data from Lego Indiana Jones, and it makes my Wii go, SHIAKAZEEM! And I was like, oh, well, whoops, I just broke my brother's Nintendo Wii. So then it actually did work, and it hacked it, and I put it on there, and I had to like take the SD card out and change some stuff. And then I found out, like, as soon as I finished, like, and I'm sweating bullets, right? I'm fucking like, I am 17. I don't even have a job, right? Like, how am I going to replace this fucking Wii if I break it? And then I found out, yeah, apparently I was just supposed to download a new thing where it just opens, like, remember the message board on the Wii?
Yes.
Like the weird-ass message board you can leave notes and shit? I was supposed to just install the SD card and then open up a literal letter with a bomb in it. Like, I had like a big red cartoon bomb, and that would hack it.
So, that sounds very similar to how you used to hack the 3DS. Want me to tell you how?
Hold on, one more thing.
Sure.
The last thing I had knew happened to that Wii, so it did work, right? Like, and I'll post an Imgur album, a bunch of the stupid hacks that we put into Brawl. But my mom was babysitting someone's children, and they were playing Yoshi's Island on the hacked Wii, and it did the SHIAKAZEEM, and it scared the shit out of them. At any time, because I fucked it up by installing through Lego Indiana Jones. So at any time, if you looked at it the wrong way, it would start screaming at you.
SHIAKAZEEM. What does that even mean?
It's a magic trick.
So. I was curious how people even homebrewed shit in general, because once again, once I found one thing on HShop, my interest was piqued immensely, you know? Once I was able to figure out how to get Rverse working, I was just curious, how does this shit work? So, 3DS hacking has had a very crazy history, because Nintendo and the hackers have been going at it since the Wii, you know? Nintendo's like, hey, we want to make all these cool and fun apps, but these fucking moids keep fucking hacking through and getting their fucking
these
homebrew
moiders.
apps. Yeah, they keep trying
I just
to
want to moider these moiders.
They keep trying to goddamn customize their own things that they own. Fuck these guys, am I right? So, we better send FBI, or better send private eye goons to stalk homebrew app developers. Not that Nintendo has ever done that, haha. So, anyway, let me tell you about a little 3DS game you've never heard of. I'm going to link you this game. You ever hear of Cubic Ninja for the 3DS?
No.
Much like Lego Indiana Jones, there was an exploit in Cubic Ninja. Nobody gave a fuck about Cubic Ninja. This was like a game that you could find in a bargain bin for $5. You play the 3DS, use the gyro controllers to tilt it, and you can make the little ninja move around the map, right? But it had a map editor. You see where this is going.
Uh-oh, you load it from the SD card?
No. There was no limit to how big these maps could be and how much data they could hold. Now you see where this is going. You can overload the system, make it vulnerable. Whoop! There's your opening to get custom homebrew in. So in order to homebrew you through your 3DS, you would need to buy Cubic Ninja for $5, and once it was popularly known, that price kept going up to $5, $10, $15, $30. Suddenly it was $60 to hack your 3DS, man. I'm just saying.
That must be really nice for them, because that's like a small indie game. Like
no, because the studio was already dead by the time this was discovered.
Like Nintendo is very, very like, if your game is the game that breaks their console, Nintendo is not fucking happy about it.
No,
like,
they're not.
For Bug Fables, they couldn't like South America does not have a Nintendo of South America that will hand out those kits to like develop games on because they're worried that if they do, they don't have the control over it, and then someone's going to hack it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Bug Fables, they had to go through a lot of strenuous testing on when they went on the Switch because they're like, if there's an exploit on the Switch, like they won't let our game be bought digitally.
And this is post-Cubic Ninja. This is why, because this would just allow anyone just
Cubic Ninja Society.
Ninja.
I can't even get on an airplane with my unlimited sized map files anymore.
So eventually, Nintendo was able to find the exploit and shut down the custom homebrewers. What if I told you they found another way? So check this out.
I wouldn't believe you. I'd say that you're lying. I could never mod my DS.
Shut up. Fuck you. I'm trying to make this fun, okay? So next thing. Do you remember how you can backwards compatible DS games in your 3DS?
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean much. When the DS does not actually the 3DS does not play the game. It enters DS mode, where it essentially becomes a different console, right? Rather than just actually playing it through the current hardware. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
But what if I were to tell you, if you went to the Wi-Fi settings and put way too many characters in a very long string that was like 10 Lord of the Rings novels long of length, that would break it, make it vulnerable. Yoink, there's your opening for custom homebrew. So that was method 2, was, all right, time to hack my DS mode 3DS's Wi-Fi. Eventually, Nintendo was like, okay, that one's easier to fix as it doesn't require a video game. Patch it. Dead. What do we do now? You're the DSi.
Oh, so this is what the modern one is, right? It goes through DSiWare, and then it fucks up your Wi-Fi slots, and it does all this stuff. It's
no,
like
that's the next
building.
one coming up.
Okay, so what's this one?
This one was, you know how DSi had little games and apps like Shantae, the Shantae 2 on there, right? And other shitty games like the shitty Earthworm Jim port and Dr. Mario. So,
Yeah.
Sudoku for the DSi. What if I entered too many numbers and it broke my 3DS and it let me upload custom homebrew into it?
Too many numbers.
Once again, Nintendo patched it. Okay, now this was at the end of the 3DS's life cycle. Nintendo's like fed up with the 3DS, and this was like the last couple of years. This was like a few years ago as of this, video. They don't care anymore. They don't patch it. They don't even care about exploits anymore. They're not making any money off of it. They literally shut down production and shut down games, and like this was like when you couldn't go to the store, like there weren't any 3DS games anymore, right? Like they don't care anymore. So
there's like a certain time where a system becomes like not unprofitable, but something like that. It's like how you could buy the RetroArch or whatever the thing for the N64, where you could just straight up plug that shit into an N64 and it will run ROMs. And you can buy like N64 and GameCube controllers now.
Yeah, they're called flash carts, by the way. Those work for the 3DS as well. You could also try to hack with a flash cart, but it's a little jankier of a process and less interesting. Well, what's interesting is like, oh, I put a program in a little fucking cartridge and it works. Whatever. I like the crazier shit. So the next one, the current exploit that you know of, and you've already done it, so you know, is through. While Sudoku helped, what it is the DS download play on the 3DS app. Mm-hmm. Now you can download play like from other games. Like remember how if you don't have a game, you can still play multiplayer with somebody else with download play. Well, download play is it's even easier. You just put a custom file in your 3DS and it reads it from the SD card, because download play can read from the SD card. So before you even do the homebrew like funny shit, you just put it in there. Download plays. Uh-oh, that's not supposed to be there. That's a lot of numbers, and it fucking explodes in on itself. Then get your opening to a custom homebrew, and Nintendo never patched that one. And that's how you do it. That's why, like, and you've done the hacking process. You know how you go to the DS Play, you upload it, do the button combination, and the 3DS literally, like, blue screens for a second? That's how you did it. You just overloaded the system, and then it goes to that little, like, boot menu like an old computer, and that's how you upload all the actual custom firmware. That's how it works. And so that's the current system. Then you also, to hack the network itself, you have to add, like I mentioned in the last episode, a custom bot friend to give you like a code stream, then put in the files and do all the other crazier shit. But that's the actual hacking process. I was mostly just interested in like, how did this even start? And I thought that was so fucking cool.
I love like the Nintendo consoles are the ones that seem to have the most active modding community like this, and I think it is because like people that are like attached to the PSP, right? Like the PSP's cool, and like they played it when they were like 10 and above. It doesn't have that like weird connection that like Nintendo consoles will have with weird kids.
Yeah, but another thing is that Nintendo just has better games on it, and I want them. So like people are more activated to do that. Like example, I'm a lot more interested in hacking Smash Brothers than I am PlayStation All Stars. I'm just saying, you know. But what I was going to add onto this is that so with the hacking, there's also Wii U hacking, which is also getting popular because the Wii U is also shutting down with the 3DS, you know? Now, what's interesting about Wii U hacking is I haven't personally done it yet myself because on the guide, okay, the 3DS guide literally says, at this stage of, like, all these attempts, this is basically brick-proof. The Wii U one says, be careful and follow the instructions carefully or you'll brick your system. And I was like, ooh, I'm scared. So I haven't done it yet as of this video, but I'll probably have it later. But I want to add some bits of why I'm going to do it eventually once I get some more money to get some more SD cards to fit like everything in there.
More SD cards?
Well, because the fucking... Okay, every 3DS game and update ever and everything blah 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 is 267 gigabytes, okay? I put a 128 in there. I can fit everything good and also Morbius, okay? It doesn't matter. The Wii U, though, is a terabyte. I'm going to need a lot more SD cards for that, okay? Because the Wii U is backwards compatible with the Wii. But what if I were to tell you it's actually backwards compatible with the GameCube, too?
That makes sense because the Wii U is like the Wii was a GameCube, had used like GameCube infrastructure.
The Wii U is just a slightly better Wii, which is a slightly better GameCube. So even though you can't put a GameCube disc in there and work, all of the system like firmware and stuff and the stuff is in there. All you gotta do is put the files to read the discs in the Wii U and it would work. So I can put in, say, Star Fox Assault in there after Homebrew in it and it'll run just perfectly fine. And remember, the Wii U has GameCube controller support as well. It's already built right in there for Smash Brothers. And so you can also put in, and because you don't even need to run, say, Dolphin, you can just get the GameCube games, get the Wii games. You can still download the ISO files and just read them right from the SD card as well as the GameCube files from to the Wii U as well. So you can basically make that thing 3 systems in one. So while the Wii U is, well, let's be real, the Wii U only has like 2 good games on it. And one of those games have all been ported to the fucking Switch at this point. All you're left on the Wii U that's unique to the Wii U is Splatoon 1, which why would you play 1 over 2 and now 3, right? Star Fox Zero, and like Game and Wario and Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land isn't bad, but that's about it. Like, you know what I mean? Because even Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, on the Switch with the funky mode.
With the funky new mode.
Yeah, ported to the Switch as well. Fucking Breath of the Wild was supposed to be for the Wii U, and fun fact, it was still released on the Wii U. On the Switch as well. So the only reason you get the Wii U is essentially if you just want to hack it and have it as a triple system, which is also why I need a lot of SD cards in there. But like, I'm gonna do that eventually because I think it's really interesting, and I just like I like my GameCube and my Wii games, you know. But like, I've gotten super into this. I've gotten into my hobby in a different way thanks to my 3DS. Another thing I've been doing is like I hooked up my old N64, right? But I watched an entire video about N64 controllers. Now, here's the thing about the N64 controller, if I may. The N64 controller is a revolutionary controller with its analog stick. It's also fucking dog shit because it's the first of its kind. You know what I mean? Like, look, it's revolutionary.
100% agree.
Like, you know exactly what I mean.
You think about it, and you're like, oh, I remember playing Ocarina of Time. Have you held an N64? Ask yourself, have you held an N64 controller in the past 10 years? It feels like shit. It feels like garbage.
Look. I love my N64. I get it. But when you're the first of something, you're not always going to be the best. You can pave the way, but that doesn't mean you're the best. You know what I mean?
Not everyone can be a PlayStation 2 controller unchanged in the past 20 years.
Yeah, honestly. So like with the N64 controller, the analog stick itself, if you go to your old N64, do you have your controller still around with you by any chance?
My N64 controller?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 5 of them.
Well, if you have your old one from when you were a kid, if you pop that sucker open and look at the little, it's like a little bowl that has the analog stick and the gears that like turn it to get its angles. If you look in that bowl, you see a lot of dust in there. That isn't dust. That is the plastic being grinded down into a fine powder because it was never greased. The N64 controller has a very limited lifespan of like 2 years before the analog stick itself starts to wiggle, wobble, and you'll lose your DPI on it. So we were supposed to get 80 to 85 DPI on like on an angle. After like a couple of years, you get like 40. It's really hard to make turns on certain games and shit with a shitty ass 3DS with an old 64 controller. You know what I mean? But N64 is a big Nintendo console. It doesn't have a modding scene because it doesn't have apps and shit like modern things, right? Outside of putting a flash card in there to read ROMs, that ain't what you gotta do with it. It doesn't have fucking like that kind of protection. It's an old system. But it has a surprisingly in-depth controller modding scene that I did not expect to stumble upon after watching that video. And so...
And you're talking about for the N64, not for the GameCube controllers.
Yeah.
Right?
The GameCube one has has controller modding, but that's pretty much carried by Smashies. Yeah. Smelee players are like, I have my custom, GameCube controller with these little notches on the side to do DPI angles or whatever the fuck, right? And do Z drops.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Smash, like, Dolphin the emulator is carried by Smashies. Like how PSP emulator is carried by Monster Hunter fans. You know what I mean? Where like the PSP and GameCube and Dolphin emulators are like super fucking good compared to any emulator just because those two fans are built different and just obsessive, you know? Controller modding for the GameCube, you guys have heard of this. N64 though, you can buy custom analog sticks, start buttons. I was so tempted to buy the $25 like little hard ass like metal fucking jiggy that's golden for the N64 start button. I was so tempted to buy that. But
it's just a little jiggy that sits in the controller?
No. It's the start button, it's red. You take that button out, put it with a little new button that has a little jiggy on it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like literally just the jiggy, but it's the jiggy inside of a circle. That makes more sense. I was like, I feel like the jiggy wouldn't fit in the start button.
There's also there's a Smash Brothers start button shit too. There's like custom casings and shit. But also,
did you know there's a mod for Banjo-Kazooie? It's a whole ROM hack that reimagines Ocarina of Time. It's like a Banjo-Kazooie like whole ass game.
That's fucking awesome. I bet I could make that run on my N64 too.
You can.
So like, what I ended up getting is because my controller is old as fuck, even if I were to grease it, the plastic's already been grinded down. It doesn't matter, right? So I bought some new ones, and this is when I stumbled upon another rabbit hole. I stumbled upon fucking repros, also known as reproductions.
Oh, I accidentally bought a repro. When I bought my DS, my 3DS to hack, I got it from a pawn shop. Mm-hmm. And he also had a copy of Pokemon Soul Silver for $15. And I'm like hell, I'm leaving here without that. Mm-hmm. And he gets it, and he gives it to me. He's like, all right, just so you know, this is a repro. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I know what that means. I plug it into my DS. It is SpongeBob Atlantis SquarePantis. I launch it, and it is Pokemon Black RX mod loader, and then it freezes, and then pops into Soul Silver. And I'm like, I don't know what Manchurian candidate shit I just traded.
So. I found repro controllers. So they work the exact same way. They're perfectly fine. They work, all right? But they are unofficial hardware. So they're going to be different. They might be a little cheaper plastic, and they won't have the Nintendo logo on it. I'm not shelling out $80 for a fucking non-grinded down N64 controller. I'm going to buy the $15 fucking controller on Amazon that works just fine, that's see-through green, okay? But I end up stumbling upon repro cartridges, too. Like, I know that no one's going to sell Ocarina of Time for $21. I can tell it's going to be a repro, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If the repro works, and I went with them, they work. They're tested. They all work. There's no glitches. There's no SpongeBob SquarePantis Atlantis. Because again, these are older systems. They have easier piracy checks. It's just copy the ROM in there, plug it in, it works. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've got absolutely nothing bad against repros as long as like
they're honest.
Like if that guy would have given me it and then didn't tell me it was a repro, I would have been like, you motherfucker.
Exactly. Like if I bought $60 Ocarina of Time and it was a repro, I'd be mad. But if it's, $17, $20 to cover the cost of making it and shipping it, and it's a repro and it works, I'm fine with that. I'm not that much of a Tismo collector where I need like the box, the manual, because these games are getting old. These games are older than like most of the people listening to this Discord, this call, right? So the point is that like in the future, the repros are going to be what we have to use inevitably. If we want to still play these things on like the original hardware to the best of their the most authentic we can get them, because a lot of the emulations are always going to be a little off, even the official emulations on like the Wii U, Switch Online kind of things. You know what I mean? They'll always be a little janky. Yeah. If we want that, we're gonna have to inevitably go with repros. Because like if I take my old Banjo-Kazooie here and I just throw it in a fucking furnace, that's just one less Banjo-Kazooie in the world. No one's gonna make that again. It's gone. So, like, these repros are, like, again, if they're fine, they work, and they're honest, by all means, they are kind of the future. And that is kind of annoying, but it is part of what we're going to have to do for, like, game preservation in the future. And that's part of why I got so interested in this in the first place, was preserving all these old games. Because, like, I told you about this before, with the current digital age we are with the modern gaming, these stores shut down, they're gone. Or like these stores shut down and I get, say, Fire Emblem Awakening or whatever. I can't download its update and get the DLC. They're gone. I have to use these homebrew things. I have to use HShop. I have to get repros. I have no other options. Nintendo's not going to sell them anymore. They don't give a shit. Like, this is what I have to do. And this is why, like, I really would like to kind of promote it, you know? Even though it's technically piracy, bro, it's what we gotta fucking do at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And it's preservation. It's like how at my girlfriend's work, they were closing some stuff down, and I was like, "Let me get some of them old ass CRT televisions, please. I will give you $40. I will give you up to $50 for one."
But like that's why I got so into this, and I become so like engaged in my hobby in a new way. I'm absolutely just loving, like, it's not just the ability to play these games for free or play these games I haven't tried before, like Fire. Like, I would have never paid for Fire Emblem, you know, but because I played it, I got into it, and hey, I did end up paying for it for 3 houses and Engage, right? Like, this made me a customer, right? It's not just about that. It's about like having the ability to fully customize these things that you own, that you should be able to fully customize in the fucking first place, if you ask me, but then also preserving these things of data that inevitably will be lost, because as you guys know, I really like history and shit, and is that, like, when you guys don't keep writing anything down, no one's going to remember. It's gone. Like, there are things from thousands of years ago that we, like, one of the most interesting pieces of writing we have is just a Roman guy talking about his dog. That is the most mundane, boring thing ever. Nobody would care at the time. 1,100 years later, that's so interesting seeing how these guys still treated dogs basically the same fucking way we do now. They fucking love them. And the guy even mentions he loves when he comes back home from work, the dog gets all happy and jumps on him. Humans never change. But this, it sounds dumb because they're video games, but the same thing, these are still works of art. These are still human creations that, if we don't do these kinds of things, they're just gone. They're just gone to history, gone to the ether, gone to fucking forever. And so I highly promote everyone doing these kinds of things. I highly promote everyone downloading Morbius on their 3DS.
And watching it in the sewer.
Now, I have one last tip for a bonus thing, if I may, but to close this all out.
Okay, what's the bonus?
So, when you guys are looking at the 3DS themes, don't put booby themes in your fucking 3DS, okay? Don't do that. Do not. I have not. Okay, I have not. So one of my friends did. I'm not going to judge him for it. I'm not going to call him out. But I'm calling him out. I would never put a booby theme on my 3DS. I was like, I can get any of my favorite game themes. Like, oh man, like there's no fucking Star Fox theme. Outside of the shitty Zero one. I don't know, I'll get this custom Star Fox 2. That's so cool. There's a Yume Nikki theme with custom sound effects. I open the 3DS, and it's a little from when you like equip an effect. That's so awesome. There's a Mario 64 theme that when I got it, I'm like, this is probably going to be basic. I open it up. It goes, ding, it's a me, Mario. That is my favorite fucking theme. That made me so fucking happy. It bing bing wahooed in my fucking soul, dude. That was badass. You don't get themes like that from the official store. But I want to tell you guys how to look at the theme plaza. Because when I first started out, I was a theme downloading novice. And I just downloaded any random shitty thing for anything that I liked, you know? I wasn't looking at the tags on the metadata here. So, quick rundown. Half of that shit doesn't really matter. Like 99% of them are going to be just random textures with no scrolling. Because even the official 3DS themes, there were barely any scrolling ones, you know? Scrolling is mostly just a bonus, and most of the time it looks like shit. What you want in a theme it must. The Aleks mandate, you must have custom music. I'm not even going to look at you if you don't have custom music. Oh, it's 2 JPEGs of really beautiful artwork, no music, 180. Don't even know the rest of it.
Some of the custom music ones, though, it's like that Windows. I have one that's Windows 98, and it looks really cool, but it has like this big peppy music, and it's like I don't think of any kind of music when I think of Windows, except for the Windows theme that's for XP. When you do open the 3DS, it does play the Windows XP startup.
Yeah,
that's the only one.
Yeah. But then look at the custom music, because it could be some dog shit, bit crunched, shitty loop, you know? So, first, theme, then I look at it. Listen to the theme, it's good, now I'm interested. Go down to the lower left of the 3 pause of the screen, metadata. What you want to look for is custom SFX. Everything else is whatever. Custom card icon is nice, folder icon is nice, custom cursor, sure, that's pretty, that's all good. Custom SFX turns a good theme into a great theme. Do you think that Mario 64 theme would be half as good if I didn't open it up and it said it's a me Mario? Do you think that goddamn motherfucking the Star Fox 2 theme, when I open it up, it does the little comm noise from the guys talk to you, and when you tap on an icon to go into an app, it fucking goes, good luck. You can't
that's
it's
sick.
godlike. You need custom SFX. Like I've gotten to the point where my tastes have matured. I need custom SFX. If it doesn't make funny bing bing noises, I don't even fucking look at it. And sometimes I could argue there might be a little too many. Let me tell you about some bad themes. The WarioWare Inc. theme, I wanted to love it so bad, but it's so awful because the sound effect that he uses for the custom SFX is slightly delayed and it plays over the game starting up and it's awful. It is a terrible theme. Do not download that one. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Wario theme. I didn't know any better. So I got rid of that one. But, like, scroll through these and, like, just pick them apart. Look for your favorite characters, franchises, games. Like, there's anything. But to end this off, you can go to the Theme Plaza official Discord and get Kami, or Kame, whatever. K-M-M-E, Kami. This is a little app that allows you to create these 3DS themes. And that's why they also kind of vary in quality, because anyone can make one. That's why you'll get, like, Jimmy making, like, JPEG 1, JPEG 2, no custom SFX, no custom music. You just put 2 shitty JPEGs together. That's how but then you get, like, the Fire Emblem Awakening theme, which, like, looks legitimate, where it has the official box art, then, like, this really cool, pretty bottom screen, which has, like the corners edged in, like, it looks like a legitimate theme. Like, they vary hard. They can't all be good. Really look at them and think to yourself, do I want to scroll through my apps on that bottom screen? Because, like, the bottom screen is the most powerful of the theme screens. Because, like, I have this really pretty Rosalina theme. Shut up. I have this really pretty theme that the top screen is fucking gorgeous. It's like her up there. It's not stretched. It's not crunched. It's not JPEG artifacted. It's a nice thing of her, like, hugging a Luma. It looks very cute. Of, like, her, like, the stars. But the bottom screen kind of sucks. The bottom screen is just, like, the storybook artwork. And, like, the app's cover, it doesn't look that bad. But it has custom open screen where you open it up, there's a little Luma little noise they make when you talk to them, you know, the little that. It does the little Mario, like, galaxy menu when you highlight things. When you tap a thing, it does the Mario, like, when you go to blast off into a galaxy. It's really well done, but the bottom screen is kind of crunchy. So, like, it would have been a 10 out of 10 theme, but it's kind of an 8. Honestly, it kind of gets hurt.
Here's the thing, too, Alex. Like,
but
how long are you looking at that theme before you launch? You don't be like, do you open up? You're just like, I just want to take a look at my theme here.
Unironically, yes, I do. Fuck you. I am addicted.
You know what?
To
I
these.
can't really blame you. I do that with my Magic cards.
Because, like, when I open up my Yumi Nikki theme, it plays that beautiful rendition of the save file theme, and I get a little emotional. I won't lie. I love looking at that. It's one of my favorites for a reason. I get into it. I love it. But what we really want to do is, if you want to make these custom things, you also got to make sure, like, okay, I'm going to shit on one more thing before I move on my tangent, okay? One last theme, because this one's going to break your heart. There's a really good Rayman 2 theme. Custom art.
The Great Escape?
Yes, The Great Escape. custom top screen, custom bottom screen, beautiful fucking. It's the map menu, you know, that kind of like little like weird, creepy like adventure music. And it has custom sound effects where it goes doot 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 when you tap on an app. It's fucking amazing. The bottom screen is so fucking ugly. I can't stand looking at it because the bottom screen.
What did they do?
Do you know the main menu where it says like new game, continue, English, Dutch, French, or whatever, like the whole menu? They just put the whole menu with all the text down there and it looks so awful. It's so ugly. You could have just put any screenshot of any area in that game, but the text is so, because you'll be like, okay, the apps will cover it up, but you'll see the bits of like the options menu text peer through between the apps. You'll just go like, it'll trigger your autism like it triggers mine. I want to love that theme so much. It is so close to being good. I am calling you out because I want you to fucking edit your theme. Everything can be the same except for that bottom screen. Anything. Literally change anything. It could be literally Globox's fat fucking ass and it would be better than what you fucking picked. Oh my god. You have no idea how close to perfection you are, you fucking asshole. Please fix your theme.
Well, Alex, sounds like you have a job to do.
Well, let everyone know, I did download Kame, and I plan to make a bunch of themes. Once I figure out how this works, there's a lot of fucking buttons on this, and as you know from my badge thing, I'm not very good at what I'm doing.
Make a custom. Let me tell you about one.
Honestly, I'm not against that. Give me some sound effects. Come on, Smokes, hand them over. No, I got it.
There's your sound effects.
Open up your 3DS. Stick all my freedom fighters out there.
All right, I'm leaving. This has been a bonus episode just about like modding your stuff. Just get that shit modded up there. A bonus, a freebie for all of you. I've been listening to Mysterious Universe, and they have the paid and they have the free, and they refer to everyone who listens to the free episode as barnacles, just stuck on for the ride. Here's one for all you barnacles, you pay piggies. Okay, I'm done. Mod your 3DS. We'll put those Smash Bros. Screenshots and our favorite themes in the description.